watching the leaves falling in. Then you were something like a dream. Oh, so perfect, couldn't talk to me. The time moves slow when you're all alone. And the time moves slow when you're out on your own. And the time moves slow when you're missing a friend. And the time moves slow when you get to the end.
I'm sorry, miss. I'll present my work right now. I'm really sorry. Good day, everyone. Before we formally start, I would like to introduce myself first. Hi, I am Trisha Macy Atabay from SBCS 1B, and today we will be discussing about conditional control structure. But first, what is a control structure? A control structure is a programming concept that controls the flow or order of execution of a program. It tells the program what to do next based on a certain conditions or repetitions instead of just executing the code line by lines. Why is it important? First, of course, it allows our program to be more organized and systematic. And second, it allows us to avoid to be repetitively write our code and makes our code more efficient and easy to maintain and to update. Now, there are two types of control structure. The first one is a decision control structure. Ito yung uri ng control structure kung saan yung program natin is gumagawa ng sarili nilang desisyon based sa isang kondisyon. Ang common example nito is if, else if, and else and switch statements. Sa repetition control structure naman o yung looping control structure na tinatawag din ng iba, ito yung uri ng control structure kung saan ang program ay inuulit-ulit ang isang action hanggang sa makuha yung gustong isang kondisyon o output. Ang common example nito is ang for, while, and do while loops. So, that is it. Now that we are done talking about conditional control structure, let's now talk about the learning objectives that we expect you to learn and to gain by the end of this video lesson. For the first objective, of course, we want you to understand the concept of program logic formulation. Sa number 2 naman is to analyze problem scenarios and apply the correct conditional statement. For third objective, of course, we want to identify the different Java selection or conditional control structures. And for number 4, develop Java programs using conditional statements. Now that we are done talking about the learning objectives, let us now discuss decision control structure. Since na-discuss na natin to kanina ng pahapyaw, let's define it more finely. So, ang decision control structure, ito kasi yung control structure sa programming kung saan ito yung gumagawa ng decision based sa isang condition. Nakadepende yung result ng condition, like for example, true or false, kasi pipili ang program kung anong code ang i-execute. Bakit siya importante? Of course, importante to kasi nakakagawa tayo ng different actions depende sa sitwasyon na nabibigay natin. And second, pinapadali niya yung decision making sa ating program at ginagawa niya itong mas flexible sa ating program output. So ngayon naman, pag-uusapan natin yung three main types of decision control structure. Unahin natin doon yung if statement. Ito yung parang pinaka-basic na decision control structure kasi sinasabi dito na if this condition is true, then do this. So let me give you an example of that in order for you to understand it better. Ang pinakauna nating need na gawin para mag-work yung program natin is of course to set the variable first. Sa program natin na to, makikita natin yung paggamit natin ng if statement kasi if a number is greater than 0, we need to print the number is higher than 0. Then makikita nyo dito, dun sa output natin, nung in-enter natin yung 4, ang print niya is the number is higher than 0. And nung print naman natin, yung in-enter naman natin is 0, wala siyang nilagay sa ibaba since wala naman na tayong nilagay other than if statement. Now, let's proceed to the second main type. Yun ay ang if-else statement. If-else statement is a decision control structure in programming that lets the program choose between two actions. So, meaning, dalawa. Kapag hindi totoo yung isa, merong kasunod na pwedeng maging option. Para mas madali nyo maintindihan, dudugtungan natin yung example natin kanina sa if statement. Kaya tayo naglalagay ng else statement sa baba ng if kasi gusto natin na pangalawa pang option once na hindi nag-work yung una nating in-input. Ngayon, kung titignan natin yung output natin, kapag naglagay tayo ng number higher than 10, like for example, 67, ang ipiprint niya is of course the number is higher than 10. Kapag naman lower than 10, like 9, the number is not higher than 10, meaning nagbibigay siya ng dalawang options. If hindi nag-work yung isa, merong kapalit which is yung else statement nga. Dito naman sa if-else statement, ito naman ay ginagamit kapag meron tayong multiple condition na tinatest katulad ng mga grade. It checks each condition from top to bottom and when it finds the first condition that is true, it runs that block of code and skips the rest. If none of the conditions are true, the else part runs by default. The best example I can give you in this type of statement is yung sa grades. Again, ang una nating laging gagawin is of course magsiset tayo ng variables. Sa program natin na to, meron tayong nakikita dito mga multiple outputs na pwedeng lumabas sa program natin kapag nag-enter tayo ng grade. Sa unang statement, sabi dito, if a grade is greater or equal than 90, mag-print tayo ng excellent. That signifies that the student is good. Next naman is yung else if a grade is greater or equal than 80, meron din tayong ilalabas dito na statement na nagko-correlate dun sa grade na 80. Next naman is dun sa 75, meron din. And kapag wala naman dun sa tatlo, yung lumabas na grade, automatic failed na siya. Meaning, mas mababa yung grade niya sa 75. Ngayon naman, dumako naman tayo sa nested if statement. Yung nested if statement, ito yung kapag ang if statement ay nasa loob ng isa pang if statement. Ginagamit natin to kapag gusto mong mag-check ng mas specific na condition kapag katapos mong ma-confirm na totoo yung unang condition. Pwede natin tong ihalin tulad dun sa previous example natin kanina. Dito sa code ko, gumamit tayo ng nested if statement. Una, chine-check ng program kung pasado ka. Ibig sabihin, kapag ang grade mo ay 75 pataas. Kapag naman pasado ka, tsaka niya lang i-check kung 90 pataas ang grade mo. Kapag naman oo, magpiprint ang program ng excellent. Pero kung hindi, you passed lang. Tsaka kung hindi naman umabot ng 75 ang grade mo, automatic ang lalabas, you fail. Meaning, mas mababa ang grade mo sa 75. And last but not the least is a switch statement. Ito naman ay isang control structure that allows a variable to be tested for equality against a list of values called cases. Instead na gumamit tayo ng multiple if-else if, mas madaling gamitin ang switch case para mag-handle ng maraming possible output kasi mas organized siya. So, sa program naman na to, gumamit tayo ng switch statement to create a simple public transport chooser. Sa program, ang unang ginawa is to ask the user to enter a number that represents their preferred mode of transportation, like bus, MTUV, and Grab. And then, doon na papasok yung switch statement kung saan chinecheck niyo yung value ng user's input na nagdi-display sa message based sa chosen option ng user. Kapag ang user in-enter ang 1, it shows you chose bus. Kapag naman 2, you chose grab, and kapag naman 3, you chose the empty UV. If the input doesn't match any of these, the program displays choose again kasi wala dun sa mga option na nilagay natin yung number na in-enter ng user. And we're all set. Thank you everyone for listening.
'Cause when you ran away,
Thank you so much for listening, ma'am.
I knew just what you were thinking that day. You just didn't
Bye.
love me like I do, like I love you. The sad thing is we're better off this way. Time moves slow, you can't hear the thing.